My name is Janet Stegall, a Chehalis tribal member. I've lived on or near the Chehalis Reservation for 28 years, but I grew up in a small non-native community in western Montana. Seeley Lake is a beautiful town, and in the late 70s through the 80s, it was relatively idyllic, and I had a very happy home with my brother and my dad. My dad was my best friend, my biggest supporter, and literally the most important person in my life after my mother left when I was 3. At 8, my dad befriended an elderly man who lived nearby. Chet helped my dad with cars and things around the property and would sit and visit for hours. He would hold me on his lap, which progressed to resting his hand on my stomach, then to secretly touching me and making me touch him. There was one attempt to rape me when I was 11, but my little brother prevented it just in time. Chet silenced me with gently verbalized but violent threats and manipulation. He preyed on my attachment and protectiveness of my dad and brother. This guaranteed my silence, and he knew it. So while the sexual abuse aspect certainly had its effect on me, I elevated my experience in my head by embracing the public knowledge of it. There was never the luxury of anonymity or confidentiality in the mid-80s in a small town. But I embraced this and became a confidant to peers who had experienced sexual abuse and needed someone they could trust to talk to. What often isn't addressed, and what I realized in my mid-20s with the help of a really great therapist, is that the mind games, emotional manipulation, carefully worded threats, and mental control has just as deep and long-lasting effects on sexual abuse survivors like myself. An abuser chooses, by design, to focus the fallout of a victim telling their secret on someone or something that their victim loves rather than the victim themselves. They know that a child will develop feelings of fear and guilt and protectiveness when it pertains to others. Therapy is most often centered on the sexual part of the abuse. There's good reason for that, I know, and it's important, but understanding the mental and emotional abuse that was used to keep me silenced has been a lifelong journey. I'm now 47 years old. I have been conscious of what was done to me for 20 years, and I'm still finding things in my life that are shaped by that part of my experience. Trust, self-confidence, overprotectiveness of myself, isolation, and introvertedness, all of these things trace back to the deeply covert part of an abuser's MO. But I learn and grow every day, even now, because I'm not letting him control me and abuse me anymore. Chet is long since dead. He died before he could be held accountable. And I'm making sure his victimization of me dies as well. I am a strong, resilient, powerful Indigenous woman, and I will rise above.